Hi, thank you for clicking on the video. As you can see, we're jumping back into the MOESHA universe today. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notifications button so you know exactly when new videos is up. As per usual, if you don't like spoilers, you've never seen MOESHA before, you should jump off of here, go watch MOESHA, and then come back. If you don't care, we move on. Today, I'm going to be talking a little bit about MOESHA's love life. Okay, MOESHA has had quite the line of guys, am I right? And, you know, 3 that I think were significant almost, I guess, were Ohaji, Aaron, and Jeremy. Now, the reason why I think Ohaji is a good person to mention is because she is like, this is the first guy that we see her talking about and, you know, really interested in. We come in, I think the very first episode, she realizes that just because someone says they like you doesn't mean that that will stop them from being an asshole. Essentially, like, you know, this guy was laying it on thick, wrote her a poem. Like, we know he wrote her at least one poem. At least that's what he told her. How many people he read that very same poem to, we will never know, because Ohaji, you know, got around. Like, she goes to the den that night. She literally snuck out because D, you know, being D, got to the point where she grounded MOESHA and made sure she couldn't go to the den. So she snuck out to go to the den to see this boy, and he's talking through this poem, saying this poem, and then he gets off stage and starts kissing another girl. Like, boy, boy, what is wrong with you? Are you good? Are you okay? Like, and this is the thing. He knew MOESHA was supposed to be coming that night, so I don't even know why he, you know, did all of that. Like, she was gonna pop up probably, so there was a high chance that you was gonna see her, and you thought it was a good idea to go up on that stage, read a poem to another girl, get off the stage, and kiss her. Okay, like, now granted, he thought that she wasn't coming, but it's MOESHA. Like, she still gonna do what she wanna do. Like, obviously she finds a way around it, but no, I didn't like Ohaji's character. I felt like he was very superficial. Like, even when he popped up on her birthday in season 4 after she turned 18, he was still reading the same poem, which, why? Why are you still reading the same poem? I'm very confused on that. Like, you didn't write no new poetry. What was you in college for? Like, what field did you go into? Why was all of a sudden you just not into poetry anymore? But you knew that MOESHA was, so you thought the best thing to do was to bring the same poem, hoping that, and you know, he was hoping that she forgot, because she was like still reading the same poem, and he said, oh, you remember. So you know that that was the same poem. And you was hoping that she had forgot. Okay, like, he was just so superficial, and just that moment for her to realize, okay, you know, I can't be so quick to just be willing to give my all to someone, because, you know, just because I'm feeling strongly for them doesn't necessarily mean that they feel the same way. And I do think Ohaji liked MOESHA, but they're young. He's, you know, he's at that beginning stages of teen years too. You know, teen boys be all over the place. So, you know, I don't think it was him specifically trying to hurt her. It was just him being a teen guy, you know, and it did end up hurting her, unfortunately. Another person that, you know, she had her moment with was Jeremy. Now, I thought Jeremy was a decent character. However, we see on their first date, on their very first date, this boy, he was being himself. He was being his normal self, who MOESHA learned who he was since she's been going to the school. Originally, while the day was going, he meets Kim and Niecy, and he's still acting normal. He meet Hakeem, and then all of a sudden, this boy switching up. All of a sudden, he hood and he a player. This is my issue with the whole scenario, though, and why that upsets me that he switched up like that. She's introducing you to her friends. Hakeem is her best friend, okay? Like, he lives right next door to her. He probably know more about MOESHA than Kim do. And Kim is her best friend. You know what I mean? So, the fact that he comes up and she's taking the time to introduce you to her friends. This wasn't just some random guy that they bumped into at the den. That was her friend. Why the hell would you think that he, as her friend, and Hakeem was playing it chill because Hakeem know MOESHA. She not gonna just sit up with somebody that's not good for her. Technically, I'll explain that when we talk about Q on a different day. But overall, he knows her friend, and for the most part, she has a good judge in character. So I don't think that he thought that, and again, he this is first time meeting Jeremy. He don't know that that's not how Jeremy was acting before he popped up. So he just like, oh, okay, he chill, But if Hakeem had seen the way he was acting and then saw that switch up, I'm sure Hakeem would have said something like, Mo, I don't like that he switched up on you, because that's her friend. You see what I'm saying? So why would you think that it was a good idea to do some shit like that? Beyond me, right? But this is also the issue. Not only did you code switch because, this black guy showed up. Because, mind you, they go into this white school, pretty much. It's predominantly white. Him and MOESHA are one of the few black kids at the school. Fair enough. But not only are you code switching, it's the things he said when he code switched. Because you're not just pretending to be like you're from the same neighborhood. You're also pretending to be some player, which is sickening. And why would you think, again, her friend would want her out with a guy who is playing with her? You basically tell Hakeem, oh yeah, no, I just, I'll pretend to be shy until she says something to me. Yeah, the player gotta play. Like, what are you talking about? And this is what bothers me. And this is why, bro, Niecy and Kim, they're the worst freaking friends in history, because y'all see that he switched up and y'all didn't get concerned. Like, you see MOESHA get upset and y'all didn't say, that's weird, he wasn't just acting like that. Why when Hakeem pop up he starts saying this stuff and acting like that? They didn't have no problem with it. That's a problem. Like, because if that's my friend and she introduced me to this guy and he's acting one way, and then another one of our friends shows up, but because it's a guy he started acting completely different, I'm going to be concerned for my friend. And I'm going to be like, yeah, I don't like that. I ain't like that. Okay? Like, I'm going to stand up for my friend. Point blank period. Ultimately, after having a conversation with MOESHA, they ended up working it out. Jeremy was like, yeah, I was tripping. I need to, figure out exactly who I am and be just that. And I think he ends up doing that or whatever. But they end up dating for a little bit, and she ends up breaking things off with him to get back with Q for one episode. We'll talk more about that in the Q video, but this ain't about Q. Jeremy also was invited to that birthday party. For some reason, they thought it was a good idea to invite every ex that they came across. Her friends and family just was like, yes, oh, you're her ex, let me invite you to her birthday party, because of course the one thing she's gonna want to do on her birthday is see all of her exes. Like, to see one ex is like too much, but to see multiple exes, like, it was like 4 of them. And I feel like Ohaji can't even be considered an ex for real, because he was like that young preteen, early teen like moment in time. Like, they really wasn't even a full thing. Like, so that would have pissed me off. Like, why would y'all take this opportunity on my birthday to get y'all kicks in to invite who y'all wanted to invite to, because y'all wanted to see these motherfuckers at this party. Like, I didn't ask you to do this. The only person she invited to that party was that teacher dude. I can't remember his name right now. But the dude who was their teacher, she's the only one that that got invited by her, that she didn't mind coming, and they thought it was a good idea to invite all these people. The issue I'm having is Jeremy was there. Why are you singing at the birthday party like you're Usher? Like, you're not supposed to actually be Usher. You know that, right? You're supposed to be playing a different character. In my head, Jeremy couldn't sing. And the reason why I pictured him as not being able to sing is because when they had that fight, in that episode that I was just explaining, when he was code switching, he lip sings to the Usher song. So I was like, oh, well, he couldn't sing. I don't know why my brain equated it that way, but I did. And then they turned around and just let him sing. Like you can't even pretend that this isn't Usher, because why Brandy can't sing as MOESHA? Why she can't be able to sing then? It's so annoying, but it is what it is. Also, who got invited to that birthday party was Aaron. Now, Aaron is the guy that MOESHA had got on birth control for. Okay, the whole thing that Frank was mad about and just had to take it out on all the people in the house, because MOESHA didn't tell him that she was on birth control when she got on birth control. She thought she was genuinely in love with Aaron, which is fair enough, because Aaron did something that most of the people in her life probably didn't do. He protected her so quick, so easily, and in the most heroic way possible, from getting date raped at a college party when they were just viewing the campus or whatever for the weekend or something like that. And the guy spikes her drink, and Aaron shows up. He showed up because he wanted to see her again. This was after they broke up the first time, because MOESHA, the first time they were together, she started moving too fast. She's getting ready to go to college. She's really liking this guy. Her whole plan is changing to, I'm going to the college you're going to. We gonna fall in love, be married, have children. Yes, it's just that. It's just us, And he's like, you moving too fast. I think, we need time. And then they broke up, and they see each other at this college campus. And he wanted to just, be able to, I guess, sweet talk her a little bit, I guess. Just have at least a moment with her. Shows up to the party and actually helps her, saves the day. And they start dating again. This is my issue with Aaron. I have an issue with all of these niggas, don't I? This is my issue with Aaron, though. I don't feel like he took MOESHA serious enough. I feel like MOESHA took him way more serious than he took her. And I don't think it was that he wanted another notch on his belt. I think he took her serious to an extent, but I don't think MOESHA was ever the one for Aaron. And it was very obvious, he was having a good time. I think he genuinely enjoyed her company. They probably, were easy to talk to each other and all of that stuff, but it was very much so he likes that he's young and a bachelor, and this is a moment in time for him. It never gave that he really was trying to settle down and really take MOESHA serious. Even when it came to that discussion about because MOESHA was, virgin, and she was planning to give herself to this guy. And that conversation, I feel like, wasn't handled right in this scenario, because I don't think he took it that serious. It wasn't that deep for him, because in his head, it is what it is. This is just a moment in time. In MOESHA's head, this is the one for me. She was thinking Aaron was the guy that she was going to end up with at this point in time. And she freaked out because she was jumping ahead. She was pushing herself more than she realized. So she freaked out, and she did say some things that she probably shouldn't have said. And he's just like, hey, you shouldn't say that to me. Now, what if I said that about you? Which she was right. You can't say that about her. She called him a hoe. You can't say that about her. in any capacity. But okay, but it's still the fact, like, you allowed that to just be ended right there. You didn't try to have a real resolve, and then you also show up to that birthday party like you missed her that bad, and that was the last time we ever saw Aaron, Jeremy, and Ohaji, mind you. That birthday party, that was like, she said, no, yeah, y'all good, don't ever come back in my face again. I don't think it was about that, but yeah, even when he was at the birthday party, mind you, he didn't give a fuck that she wasn't fucking with them. She felt overwhelmed, which fair enough. Again, don't know why they thought that was a good idea. They like each different individual saw a different one of her exes and was like, you know, it'd be a good idea to invite this person. And then they was acting like it was for her. But mind you, the moment that MOESHA made it clear that she wasn't fucking with none of them guys, Niecy and Kim was gonna try to slide up in their face, and they dipped off to go play NBA game or some shit like that because of Aaron. It was Aaron's idea. Aaron said, oh, she ain't fucking with me, well, I'm gonna go and play a video game. That was his thought. He didn't say, well, damn, I really thought we was gonna reconnect, I really enjoyed my time with her, I felt a spark with her. No, he didn't care. Like, that's pretty much all I got to say. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you made it this far, out of the three, Ohaji, Jeremy, and Aaron, who was your favorite, or who was your least favorite? You know, what was a moment with them that you enjoyed? If you made it this far, thank you so much. There's like 1 to 2 people that always watch my videos, and I just want to say I appreciate you so much. It means a lot to me that you take the time out to watch my videos, and for anyone else who, you know, watches and gets this far into the video, I also appreciate you. Until next time, bye.